who are not yet. Yeah. Especially for those who are watching on the live streaming. This is Neurosemantics Training and STT 2018. This is day 7, and we are here with an international group enjoying this fabulous training for becoming a neurosemantics trainer. And I have the honor to present you not only a great speaker, but also the developer of this model, Neurosemantics, because he's going to show us how to be really efficient in our trainings. So let's welcome Dr. Michael Hall, please.
Every evening we talk about something that's going to help you be prepared as a trainer. Tonight the subject is efficiency, and it's page 48 in the English. What is 48? Efficiency. You might end up this evening at the end deciding that you want to have a new identity. I'm an efficient person. You may not want to go that far with what we're going to talk about, and just decide that in this activity or that activity, I'm going to be efficient. So when we're talking about efficiency, what are we talking about? 2 quotations, top of the page. First, from Thomas Stanley. Thomas Stanley wrote The Millionaire Next Door. As a research scientist looking for what are some of the critical success variables of wealth creation. He wrote this: efficiency is one of the most important components of wealth accumulation. People who become wealthy allocate their time, their energy, and their money in ways consistent with enhancing their net worth. So efficiency enables us to allocate, and this is what efficiency is about, allocating time, effort, money, resources in such a way that you get good return on investment. Another quotation, Warren Venus, business consultant, key thinker in the field of organizational development. Knowing what's right isn't the hard thing. Doing what's right, that's the hard thing. Efficiency is about doing and about implementing and about taking some activity or some skill and being able to do it in such a way that it's smooth, it's elegant, it's easy, it flows. That's what we mean by efficiency. Efficiency involves a series of steps that when you do them, it just easily, gracefully, elegantly gets you to your outcome. Interesting? Now, where would you want to apply that? Where would you want to apply efficiency? Where are you not efficient? So there's a set of contrasts in the middle of this page between inefficiency and efficiency. So here's how it'll help us to define what we're talking about. Inefficiency, wasting time and energy. You do that when you read, or when you study, or when you travel, or when you clean house, or when you go to work. Wasting time and energy. Efficiency, effective use of time and energy, using it wisely. You're going to save time and energy. Interested in that? You don't plan, you're scattered, you're unfocused. That'd be inefficiency. The contrast would be you plan, and you focus, and you may take notes. And so now you got a structure. The other side is unstructured. The other side is disoriented and disorganized and even cluttered. You have any clutter in your life? probably a place of inefficiency. So when we don't have clutter, then things are coming together and it seems on purpose. It seems strategic. That's efficiency. When we're inefficient, we're inactive, maybe procrastinating. Should get around to doing this, because it is hard. With efficiency, we identify the important things, we prioritize them, and then we do them. With inefficiency, we go back and forth. Should I, shouldn't I? Do I feel like working out? Do I feel like working? Should I do these taxes, these receipts, these invoices? So we're indecisive. On the other side, there's decision. We've done some thorough analysis. We make it happen. Jean-Luc Picard would say, make it so. Efficiency. On one side, we've got, we're not skilled. And without the skill, without the competency, it's laborious. A lot of effort. On this side, we're effective, and it's going to be quick and easy. On this side, it's the failure to delegate. On this side, it's delegating effectively and helping other people to do things, and because you're organized, now you're balancing between what you do and what they do. On this side, part of inefficiency is fooling around with excessive socializing. And on this side here, we've got some good boundaries. On that side, we could be inefficient because our standards are so high, and we suffer from the disease of perfectionism. On this side, we just optimize. Got a picture of efficiency? Got an idea of places in our life to stop being so inefficient? In a lot of ways, time, energy, effort. And here is saving. And good return on investment of your time, your energy, your mental energy of thinking things through. So that's what efficiency is. Let me make a couple points. Point number one, efficiency is a core skill for optimizing your best. You want to optimize your best? One of the critical success factors is efficiency. Efficiency is a core skill for living purposefully. You want to live on purpose? So there's a point that we're making this evening. Efficiency is a way to actualize, make it real, actualize effectiveness. Now, Stephen Covey wrote about the 7 habits of highly effective people. If you want to actualize that, it's going to be through efficiency. And if you want to be productive, that is, if you actually want to produce, what do you want to produce? And be productive. It's going to come through efficiency. So, you know what it is. Are these big enough reasons why? So we might want to make some changes in our lives as persons, as trainers. You might want to apply this to training. Where in your training, preparation, or delivery, or process, selling, marketing, getting into organizations, and where are you not efficient? And where would you like to be really gracious and elegant and effective and have a good return on value? So, simple as that. Efficiency. I'm pretty efficient about writing books. I have structure for how to do that. I write an article every Monday to the neurons, every Tuesday to the trainers, every Wednesday to the coaches. So I've got a structure set up in order to do that. I've got a pretty efficient way of handling emails. So very seldom does it take me more than 12 hours to answer an email. Get it done. And that's just because I've got a structure. Years ago, I wasn't so efficient. Some of you know I raised a daughter by myself as a single parent. And one day, many, many years ago, Jessica said to me, Dad, could we have stuffed peppers for dinner? And I said, yeah, I think we could have stuffed peppers. How do you make them? So I called my mother. I said, how do you cook stuffed peppers? So she read her recipe, and I'm writing all this stuff down. What to do, when to do it, how to do it. So I said to Jessica, yeah, we got some stuffed pepper. We got peppers in the refrigerator, so we're good to go. So I went to the stove, turned it on, and started to boil some water for rice. I turned on the skillet because I was going to put some meat in there, some lean meat, so we could do that. I went to the refrigerator and got the peppers out, and they had spoiled. I took the peppers, threw them away, turned off the skillet, turned off the water, and said, let's go to the store. So we went to the store, got new peppers, came back, turned on the water, got it boiling, turned on the skillet and put a little virgin oil in there. And then I got the peppers and cut them and cleaned them and got them all ready. And then I went to, we're out of rice. Turned off the water, turned off the skillet, put everything away, said, Jessica, in the car, let's go to the store. And got the rice, came back, turned around. Here's a picture of inefficiency. Now, what went wrong? Number one, I didn't think it through. I didn't plan. I didn't check. I didn't have a checklist of what I needed. And I didn't have an order in which to do things in a proper way. Next time she wanted stuffed peppers, I went to the refrigerator, we got peppers. I went to see in the cabinet, do we have rice? Okay. So efficiency is about thinking things through and coming up with a set of steps. So, you ready to create a state of efficiency? Yes. So, page 48. Yes. 48. Number one, identify a good example of efficiency. So this is our first step. We're going to identify a good example because I know that somewhere, sometime, you've been efficient. So think about something small and simple. Maybe it's the way you get dressed. Maybe the efficiency is you set out the clothes you're going to wear. You get that prepared. So when you get up, it's ready to go. No indecision. No thinking back and forth. You've thought about it. You get up, take a shower, put on your clothes. Maybe it's the way you got your pantry organized. Maybe it's the way you got your laptop and the front page organized. Maybe it's the way you've got something else in the house. Maybe it's your area of tools for the garden set up. So where are you efficient? It just flows. No problem. Easy. So does everybody have an example of efficiency in your life? Okay. So what we want to do is to identify that example. And here's some questions for you. And this example is where you did not waste time, effort, energy, resources doing it. So what did you do? What was that process that you did? Or what did it look like, sound like, feel like as you walked through that process? How long did it take? And so that'll be the first thing we'll do. I'll do it here in a minute with someone as we demonstrate to get a description of that. Once we have the description, this description, as we describe what happened, will put us into that state of efficiency. It just flows right on because our steps are well sequenced and we know what to do and we know how to make that link between one and the other. Whether it's writing an article, whether it's organizing your kitchen, whether it's organizing your wardrobe, whatever it is. Step two, we want to check what's going on in the back of your mind. So step two, check the frames that you have about this concept, this idea of personal efficiency. What key skills or core competencies, that's what all these are, core competencies that enable you to make it happen, are the core competencies that you need to continually practice and increase output and productivity. What did you do in that event? And now, as you think about, here's the new event that I want to do and become efficient with. So what are the core competencies? Efficiency is after you have a skill. Efficiency is not how to get the skill. Efficiency is how you organize the skills, the critical success factors, so that they are linked in a gracious, easy way. So, what do you think, if this is efficiency, any thoughts you have about efficiency? When you hear the word, what comes to mind? Now, here's a menu list. Being organized. Maybe a procedure. Maybe being ordered. Do it this way. Even if you're the one ordering yourself to do it that way. Maybe the word discipline. Isn't that an exciting word? I should. Or maybe following rules. So these would be some of the frames that, if you have those frames about this, those frames may be stopping you from being efficient. So we want to check. I'll do that here in the demonstration a little bit. And when you go and partner up with someone and do this pattern, you'll want to check, what do you think? What comes to mind? If you call it that or someone else says, you're real disciplined. You thought you just follow the steps one by one. You're very procedural. Does that settle well? Or do you not like that idea, that concept? So next we're going to specify the efficiency strategy. So whatever is this new thing that you wanted to create, what is the strategy? That's what this is, strategy. Because you have to have that before we make it efficient. We make it efficient once we have it. So what actions, if you think about the previous one, did you do that made it efficient? And so here's a menu list, and this is going to be pretty much true for anything. First of all, you prepare. Secondly, you think ahead. Thirdly, you take a moment to reflect. Is that the best order? What else do I need? What am I missing? You then identify appropriate actions. You then have a sense of, I know what to do to make this happen, and in which order. Maybe you use a list to check what needs to be there, and maybe a list of things that don't need to be there. They're just extra, that's weighing it down, that's wasting time and energy because it's not needed. And then practice. Because like everything, you probably need to run through that a few times so that you know how to do it. And by practicing and over learning, it's become easier natural. You become very efficient. So step number 4, I'm going to change this a little bit. We're going to access the state of efficiency. We're not going to apply it yet. So step number 4, just mark out apply. We'll do that in a little bit. So step number 4 is, once I get this state and I start identifying how efficient do I feel? Because we want to get that feeling. And once you get that feeling, you'll want to anchor it. It can be a verbal anchor, it can be the word efficient. It can be a kinesthetic anchor. Well, we're going to anchor it because we're going to use this anchor to transfer it. But before we do that, and that's why we don't apply it yet, we want to go to step 5. So step 5, I need to look at these frames again, because if they have said that there are some of these frames that get in their way, we need to neutralize them. So step 5, there is check permission for efficiency. Do you have permission to be efficient? So you'll see me do this in a minute. I'll ask someone, go inside, say the word. I give myself permission in this context to be efficient. And just notice what happens. Does it settle well or not? And if you're not, then what's coming to mind? So it could be, do you have permission? It could be, I don't like taking orders, even if they're my orders. So do you have permission to take orders? Do you have permission to be under orders? What's your attitude about things that you have to do? What happens when you give yourself instructions and then need to follow those instructions? So we're going to do permission at this level, to give permission and to either reframe these or let them just be dismissed as that's not the frame of reference that I need. We've got an induction, and you'll hear me do this induction. And if there are frames that are in the way, so by firing off the anchor of efficiency and directing a person to the activity, as you feel this efficiency, let this feeling of efficiency grow. And you can recall that others may call this state work. They may call it something else, discipline. But you know it's not really work. It's really fun. It's efficiency. And if somebody else calls it discipline, you can experience it in this positive way of being more efficient, of being more gracious, more elegant. You can call it that instead. So we're going to do some reframing if this is in the way. So we'll either reframe it or release it so that we have a good frame for this. At this point, what we're going to do, start all over, we're going to now take that anchor that we have, and we're going to ask about the new state of that we want efficiency and the strategy. And we're going to fire the anchor of efficiency so that we feel the efficiency about this. So we'll metastate it. So here's the regular state. You need to do this activity to be efficient. Right now, I'm not. Right now, it feels like it's effort, it's work, it's spending time, it's getting resources, it's discipline. So we're going to fire off efficiency as a feeling so that as this feeling comes in and accesses this, and we start noticing how that we can efficiently do that, now we're going to do the last question under number 4. When you apply this to the activities you need to do, what happens? When you apply this feeling, this state of efficiency to these activities that you need to do, what happens? So we're going to metastate this strategy and this set of actions that we know what to do, we planned it, we've organized it, we've thought it through, we've reflected, we've prepared, we've linked it together, and now we're going to put it together so that we can start doing whatever it is that we need to do efficiently. Now, if you want this to be generalized to your identity, then that would be step number 6. We're going to call it step number 7. Apply to identity. It's optional. You don't have to do it. But if you want to, when it comes to being a trainer, I'm an efficient. I'm an efficient person. I'm an efficient trainer. If you want to apply it to your identity. So you can see the language here. Would you like to apply it to your identity and think of yourself as an efficient person? Because if you lock it in with identity, I'll really support it. But you don't have to do that. So if you don't want to, we'll skip that and just future pace. Imagine now taking this efficient strategy into your future and doing these things. And the beliefs that you have about it and the understandings you have about it that we've been building with the new frames. How's that? Any objection? to doing this efficiently, to doing the procedure in an easy, gracious way that brings lots of return on investment. So that's the pattern. Questions about the pattern and how we do it? Many of you raise your hand, you don't want to be inefficient, you want to be efficient. So I need someone to work with to demonstrate how this works. So who really wants this? How much do you want it?
More than 10.
More than 10. How much do you want it? 15. 15. So we're getting really high. How much do you want? 300. So let me ask this question. What do you want to be efficient about?
Activity.
Activity.
Yes.
Okay. And
Reading and writing.
okay. So I can already see you're inefficient because you gave me 2.
Okay.
Give me 1.
Right.
Right. You want to be efficient in writing. Okay. You want to be efficient in
Identity.
your identity. So on everything.
I am pretty efficient in many things, but there are a few things that.
Okay. Like what few things? What one thing?
Managing emails.
Managing emails. All right. That's going to be common for a lot of people. Managing emails.
We're closing projects out. Every new project that's in the market.
Closing a project down.
Down, yes. We're going materials, put them in the right place. And
So you have a lot of projects open.
when I finish them, I don't have to close them because they're done.
You finish a project,
But not.
but you don't close
Visual
them.
material.
Okay, so things are cluttered, disorganized. Somehow you need to close them down in an efficient way.
So if I return back to something similar, it's all clean.
Okay, so you want to close that down efficiently to create a new, clean, ready to start fresh. Okay, and what do you want to be efficient in?
I want to be efficient on developing the coaching business in Guatemala. I have.
You want to be efficient in developing coaching business in Guatemala.
Yes, and trainings as well.
And training.
Yes.
I can see you're inefficient already. Giving you too many things. So let's pick one thing. Training business or coaching?
Training business.
Training.
Yes.
What about training? So are you inefficient about training?
I have not been able to connect all the variables that I have right now.
So now I'm beginning to see why you're inefficient connecting all the variables. So this is how we create inefficiency. We run off in all directions at the same time. Okay. So when you do this exercise, the challenge will be pick one thing to do, learn to do it, and then apply it to the next thing. And then the next thing. And then the next. Because to be ineffective and inefficient is to try to do way too many and not to be specific. So that's going to be part of it. So I'm going to pick the most specific thing I heard, and that is managing emails. So are you game to come up and play with me about this pattern? Give him a hand. And I don't have a red light coming on. So let's efficiently get that done. So page 48 is where we're going to be. We're going to walk through these steps one by one. So Francisco, managing emails.
Can't wait to do my emails after this.
So that's what you want. To be able,
I will be very efficient.
okay, and be efficient with the emails. Right now, you're inefficient with emails.
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. Okay, how do you do that?
I've been focusing on the course
Okay.
and not dealing with them every day.
Okay.
I'm doing a few, but there are a number of them that are not quite,
Okay.
appealing studies.
Okay. So what I'd like you to do, and where I'd like to start, is think about something that you do efficiently. What would that mean?
Exercise, parking for trips and writing projects, so.
Okay, so this is one of those that you know, and you feel really good about doing that efficient exercise. So tell me about efficiently exercising every day or other day.
I basically map my day ahead. Okay, so maybe 6 in the morning, or depending on the schedule of the week. It could be early morning, late afternoon, or here, I go early in the morning, and every day check the pool. If the pool, nobody's swimming at noon, I skip lunch and go swimming.
Okay.
And I have been able to do that 3 times.
Okay.
So yeah, so I plan that ahead.
Okay, so you're planning ahead. You even go do some checking. What's available, what's not available.
That's right.
You have some criteria if there's other people swimming.
Yeah, people, it's hard because people don't pay attention.
They're running.
Yeah.
So you're doing laps.
Yeah, doing laps.
Okay. And so you know what to avoid.
What to avoid, yeah. What to avoid, I know, how much time I have.
Okay.
And then
How do you compute that?
Well, you give us an hour for lunch. So it takes me about 5 minutes to run to my room and change, get in there. And then I would like to get a snack at least before I go, and then take a shower and change. So I need about 10, 15 minutes, so I have about 40 minutes for swimming.
Okay, so you're computing the time element for a lot of different pieces that go into being able to exercise.
Yes.
So all of this is preparing you to be in the right clothes, to be in the right state, to take care of some needs, eating needs, and to anticipate how much time. Okay, so you're thinking it through, you're checking what's not there, you're calculating how to meet those needs. What else are you doing that makes that efficient in exercise?
Well, I am, since this one is a small pool, I just want to exercise, so I basically don't push myself on the walls. I basically just turn around and just swim from the wall, so that when I get more space for doing more swimming laps.
So what I'm hearing is that you have some flexibility in your process. With a small pool, as here in this hotel, you make those adjustments.
Yeah.
At home, you don't have to make those adjustments.
No, and when I'm in the ocean, I just do time, 1 hour, and then, but I know the points with the turn or this particular reef or something.
Okay, so the other thing that makes this efficient is you looked at the structure of a pool or the ocean, how far to go, when to turn. So that's making it efficient.
Yeah, I try to do 1 plus miles a day. And if I'm in the ocean, I look at Google Earth and I look at how the length of the beach is, so I know how many laps I can do.
So you're calculating lots of different things from your clothing, from the preparation to the place where you're doing the swimming. What else?
The number of times a week that I need to exercise. Since I got a meniscal rupture in my knees, I can't run, so I walk. I do a lot of walking. Since I'm traveling and have kind of different schedule, I have to be sure that I exercise 5 days a week.
Okay. So you set some goals inside of all of this, exercise 5 times a week. And all of this is in a larger context of traveling.
Traveling, work, schedule, family.
Okay. So as you've been describing this, have you been accessing that feeling, that state?
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that feel like to you?
It feels like I'm organized, like I can achieve a lot. But yeah, I like it.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay. What's going on in your body in terms of a feeling? Is it relaxed? Is it excited?
It's relaxed. I guess I also keep score,
Okay.
I used to have an Excel with the number of math, swim and run and all that.
So you're keeping score.
Every month I have my
Okay.
yeah.
And what feeling does that elicit in you?
Achieving goals. So I say, okay, this month I want to do more or whatever. And also,
So let me interrupt you just a moment. When you're achieving goals, what's the emotion?
Emotional
Confidence? Is it excitement? Is
It's,
it anticipation?
It's confident. It's I did it. I achieved the goal, and it's month or something.
Okay, so it sounds like a little bit of celebration.
Celebration.
Okay.
Celebration is keep score. I got it. I got it.
Okay.
So I'm healthy because I was able to achieve my goal, and also it also forced me to, regardless of the situation or the country or whatever, I have to figure out a way how to exercise. If there are no pools, I have to. If there are no pools, I will walk. If there are more, if there are pools, I will swim more.
So here again is one of the key things over all the activities is the ability to adjust and adapt to different contexts so that you can either walk or swim and do it 5 times a week.
Minimum, yeah.
And minimum.
I usually do 7 times a week, but yes.
Okay. So you got a range 5 to 7.
5, yeah, kind of minimum 5, but sometimes it's no choice after 4 because of weather or something.
Okay. And this creates that sense of accomplishment, joy, and calmness.
Yeah. Achieve my goals, I can do it.
Okay. How much are you feeling that right now?
And maybe like 7, 8.
Okay, maybe 7 or 8. Okay, so that sounds pretty strong.
Yes.
Okay. Let me set a kinesthetic anchor. Yeah. Okay. So if I touched you right here, and you feel that at level 7, efficient, accomplish goals, calm, and just feeling that efficiency in exercise. Okay. So we can use this stage. So notice what happens if I touch you here. You go there. Yeah. Okay. So we've got a state that's anchored that we can use in a moment. Before we do that, I want to know this new thing that you want to do, managing emails. Managing emails. When you think about it, if you
just broke my state.
Yeah, that's good. That's why we're anchored. So now you're in a different state. And what state are you in when you think about emails?
Overwhelmed.
Okay.
So overwhelmed is I'd rather be doing, reading more than I'll be doing.
Okay. So when you think about now managing them, what frames of mind come to you? What beliefs?
It's never ending.
Okay, so there's a belief that's never ending.
Never ending. Some of them are challenging. It's all these things or politics.
Okay,
And that's
so let me go a little slow. So here's another frame. Some of this is really challenging, involving politics and other things. So one is overwhelming, one's challenging.
Some of them are not really. I have to do them, but it's not really something that I want to do.
Okay, so there's
the topic is
I have to do this, or I always don't want to. And what state does that put you in? I have to.
maybe procrastination or just finding better things to do.
So that's when you stop doing this. Okay. And overwhelmed, what state does that put you in?
Yeah, I get overwhelmed. Yeah, when I go 3 or 4 days without being active, checking every day and responding, I get my pressure goes up.
Okay, so blood pressure goes up.
Not pressure, but some kind of gauge goes up. Okay,
So you're in a state of stress.
yeah, you have to do it because it's gonna be
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like we need to address those frames.
yes.
Okay, so we're at step 2, looking at those frames, and we're also ready to go to step 3, the sequence. Do you know how to manage emails? Do you know what to do?
My answer would be probably not. I mean, I do it. I have a few folders, but I know that I have to do it better ways.
Okay, so part of it is not knowing.
It's not knowing. Yeah.
Okay, so one of the frames is don't really know the strategy.
Exactly. And haven't spent time in looking for the strategy to learn.
Okay. Okay. So that causes that procrastination. Okay. So I'll just ask some questions and see if we can co-create a strategy before we go further. So do you have distinctions about the emails that come in, which can be answered quickly, which will take maybe 5 minutes, which will take a long time?
I do.
So you have the distinction of different ones. How many distinctions do you have?
I have about, let's say, 5.
Okay, and the 5 are?
Emergency issues.
Okay.
If any issue that I have to immediately react.
Okay.
Then I have senior people, bosses. It's even for the boss. Yes,
Okay, so that's not an emergency, but it's
yeah, it's up there.
high demand.
High demand. Yeah. Then
Okay.
deadlines that we have to meet for training or something.
Okay, so some of the emails, deadlines, these are time gated.
Dated,
Have to be responded at a certain time.
For the bosses or emergencies that to be responded quickly.
Okay, are the time dated ones, is that the same as the ones that bosses send? So when you report your,
Well, maybe no. I mean, the bosses may send emails because they need something quickly, yes. But sometimes they send emails, so I just read those it's not quite urgent.
okay, and then the other 2 distinctions.
The other 2 are general ones, people asking for information or, I'm in town, can we have lunch? Or, and there is another chunk that is just office or stuff that is coming from the organization or the office, and I monitor those, but I try not to get involved.
Okay.
Because many of those will respond themselves if I don't respond.
So you know how to deal with that 5th category. Monitor.
I monitor and hope my team will work it out.
Okay.
And resolve it most of the time.
Okay, so if you classify that as the 5th category, it sounds like you got a strategy for that.
Yeah, those are a lot of them. So that which is great.
Okay.
And I have an auto reply saying I am have limited access to internet. But that works. People get the message and they store the number.
So you have a strategy for how to delay some things.
I'll filter some of them. Okay, so I call somebody else.
So that would be what, number 4?
Number 4.
So that's your strategy for number 4. You said that when you get the emergency, you have to react.
Yeah, today we were in an exercise, and I got a message to say what is going on here. There was a robbery, so I had to step out and make some calls and
So you have a strategy for dealing with the emergency.
That was an emergency. Very rarely you have to have it. But
So it rarely happens.
Yeah.
In a week's time.
It probably will be every 2 months or something.
Okay, so it's really rare. And you have a strategy.
And I have a strategy.
React. So now we've got number 2 and 3, the ones from the people you report to.
That's right.
And you have a strategy for responding to those.
Yes. For the most part, rarely I will be out of contact fully. So I scan my email, 2 times a day. So if I see anything important, or they will call me. I get a message, so I just go back.
And
Yeah.
how many emails are,
Every 2 weeks again, maybe one. That could be
okay, so not very much
Not
there.
very much.
And you got a strategy.
I got it.
So number 3, the time dated.
Yes, those, yeah, those are the ones that I usually pretty good doing those. Some of those are related, also linked to other people. So sometimes it's not just me, I have to oversee stuff to be sure that we don't miss the deadline.
Okay. So the deadline ones sounds like the most critical ones, actually.
Yeah.
The first 2, very seldom occur,
Yeah.
you have a strategy. The 5th one, not just monitor.
Yeah.
So is that 3rd one of deadlines?
In the third one, there are some issues that sometimes it's more a strategy or policy, and then I know they would take, is there emails that they would take more time. So, okay, if I'm working with emails, those are the ones that are gonna take me more time to figure it out.
More time.
Sometimes half an hour for one email, which is a lot of time.
Okay,
So
so
those are the ones.
that's the
I
critical.
try to avoid those a lot. Being useful.
Okay, and how many in a week's time would you give of those?
Of those would be 4 to 10
Okay, so 14 in a week.
in a week.
And so that's the one that really causes the inefficiency.
I think so. Those are the ones that I kind of bunch in 7 plus max. And then I do a block of time, maybe half a day. Okay.
So you do have a strategy.
Half the
I
time.
have a day,
Yeah.
a block of time. Is that efficient to do it that way?
It's a great feeling when I get rid of those.
Yeah.
It's just that consumes my time for
Right.
preparation for
Right,
other.
that's a half a day.
I know.
Okay.
And sometimes I say, okay, it's gonna be 3 or 4 hours that I can do in 6 hours.
Okay.
And that's kind of very frustrating because I'm writing or preparing for training and
Okay. So in terms of a strategy, you got the block of time. The other choice would be breaking up that block and just being true to your, just 1 hour, just another hour and stop.
yeah, actually, seeing it that way seems pretty straightforward.
Okay. So do you now think that you have a strategy?
Yeah, no, I definitely, yeah, I just saw this bunch of stuff at the numbers and all like that. Yeah, no, makes sense. What I would take it to the next level is look at how people organize folders, so I can just, because right now once I clean it, I get a bunch of stuff and put it, archive everything. Okay, in one folder because I don't have time. Okay, I want to do it.
So in your efficient state, when you're calculating time, calculating distance, and calculating the swimming pool or the ocean, and you're doing lots of calculation, and you've got a frame above that of adjustment. If you bring that to this,
it's the same sensation that pretty close to what I do with the planning for the swimming. Because it's the achievement, right? Achievement, and I feel actually really good when I have, I got rid of all this, especially number 4.
So let me do this. Think about the strategy with emails. You have 5 degrees. You got strategies for each one. We may need to add some knowledge to how to calculate number 3 on the deadlines. And what I want you to do, looking at that, I want you to feel this about that. And notice how this state of efficiency, your ability to calculate and plan and think through and adjust, is now affecting that.
Yeah, it's like a game. I want to meet my goals and I want to be sure that I get it all.
So it's like a game.
Mhm.
When you bring that game frame on this, so that you can have wins, achievements.
That's good.
Okay, feels good.
Yeah.
All right. As you think about taking this back to Washington, D.C., and to the travels that you made back home, as you think about feeling this, about handling emails, any objections? Anything getting in your way of doing this?
No, only look for more tools to separate or to the different programs have options to move to specific folders.
And is that a skill that you have?
Well, I need to look for that. That's easy.
Okay, and you can look.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
I can ask you how you do it.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So, we went a lot longer because we had to get the strategy. If to the answer, yes, I know how, I'm not doing it because it's clever, I'm not doing it because of these other things or because of some frame, then I would have done the last piece there really quickly. So the best way is to make sure the person has the strategy ahead of time. Because efficiency is running a series of steps in an efficient way. So once you know what to do, then this is the core thing that's going to change it. Questions about doing it? We didn't have to explicitly go to step 5 and do the induction to change the frame. But it did happen, if you notice, from overwhelm and from challenge and the other frames to gain. Okay.
So for the time frame we're going to have now, I suppose it's best if we pick something that we already know how to do that.
I decided to go ahead with this so that you can see how to facilitate someone in inventing their own strategy. Our belief in NLP, people have all the resources. They know, they may not know they know. And asking some good questions, Socratic questions, draw it out. So we co-created it as we went. But yes, for the drill right now, we're going to do 15 minutes each. And so check with the person that they have the strategy. And everybody ready to go? Well, 15 minutes each, find a partner, and let's do it efficiently.